Hello, my name is Lizzie, and this is Lizzie's Literary Life, and today we are beginning a vlog all about Kayla from Kayla Ray Reads. So, this is, I think, the last one, either the last or the second to last episode, depending on how fast I read these books, episode in my Reading My Friends' Favorites series. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, I'll actually make a playlist and link it down below of all of the Reading My Friends' Faves videos from this year. But in each video for each of my friends put together a list of their 2023 favorite books, and for each person in each video, I read one that is my choice from that person's list, one that is a random selection from that person's list, and one book may or may not be on their list that they have personally recommended to me. And today we are doing Kayla. I feel like Kayla and I, sometimes our tastes align. Like, I know we both read Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll this year and loved it, but also like I feel like we read pretty different stuff. So we'll see how this goes. I actually haven't really looked at her list yet, so we will look at it together. But first, I know that she sent me a video with her pick, and I know that her pick is actually from her list. So we're going to look at that video first, because it'll just, her selecting that for me will disqualify that one from being the other selections for this video, obviously. Though actually, there's one book on her list that I know that I was thinking was going to be my choice because I really want to read it, and I'm kind of worried she's going to pick it for me, because then I'm going to need to pick something else for my choice, and that is Vladimir by Julia May Jonas. I really want to read that book, but also if she picks it for me, like, I get to read it anyway, and it shows that she knows what I want to read. But also it would be cool if she picked something else, because she knows these books better than I do. Anyway, we're going to just get into it. We're going to watch this video.
Hey Lizzie, it's me, Kayla. I'm here to recommend you a book for my friends, your friends, me, favorite books. And I am going to pick this book because I really love this book. Ruby and I actually had a conversation about this book specifically for you, and I had to pick Vladimir. It. I couldn't not pick this book for you. I picked it because, I'm going to build some suspense. I picked it because it is literary fiction. Technically it's a romance, but technically it's not. And I think it just will be a silly, goofy time. But I picked Vladimir by Julia May Jones. This is a debut novel. It gives not Lolita vibes, but in the vein of that, in the vein of My Dark Vanessa, but less icky. Okay? So we have a woman who works at a college. She's married. She meets Vladimir, who is a married novelist. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? And I think you're going to enjoy this book. So I can't wait for you to read it. I can't wait to see what else you pick off my list, because, dear video watcher, my list is goofy, silly, crazy, just doesn't make sense. Like me, like my book taste, like my life. So, Lizzie, I hope you absolutely enjoy this book. I hope you enjoy absolutely every book that I have on my list, and have fun reading.
Okay, that was so cute. Let me get back in the middle. Okay, I do really think I'm gonna love that book, so it's a good thing that she picked it for me. But now, like, I don't really remember what else is on her list. I don't know what I'm gonna pick for myself. Let's take a look. Okay, so she has 8 books on her list. I haven't read any of them. And we're taking Vladimir off because that was her pick for me. So now there's 7 books left on this list. Let's just run through them because I haven't made this decision yet. We'll make it together. We've got Her Night with the Duke by Diana Quincy. I know that's a historical romance. I don't think I'm going to pick that one. I just don't think I would really like it a lot. We have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Both. And those are like companion novels. Part of Your World comes first, and then Yours Truly. I think I might actually pick Part of Your World. They're romance books, contemporary romance. I'm not going to pick Yours Truly because it wouldn't make sense to read them out of order. But I know, like, we're already, it's the end of 2024. We're already kind of preparing to do this again next year. So people have been putting their lists together, and like 3 people from my friend group put yours truly on their 2024 lists. So like people love that book. And I know people love Part of Your World too. So I definitely might pick Part of Your World. We have Ever After Always by KAYLA'S, which it says this is book 3. So I'm not going to read that one. I mean, unless I get it as a random selection, then I'll read it. We have Slash Tag by John Cone. Is that a thriller? I could use a thriller. Okay, that actually looks so fun. It's a horror, it's like a horror reality show influencer book, social media book, and it's an indie release, an indie horror. That actually could be really fun. There's Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, and it says like trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, like look up the trigger warnings. I don't think I would pick that because I think it's a dark romance, which is not my vibe. And then we have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, which is another contemporary romance that I'm less excited about than I am Part of Your World. So I feel like we're in between Part of Your World and the Slash Tag one. I might go, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez because I kind of want to be set up to read yours truly next year potentially for someone, since I know it's on a lot of people's lists. And I could use a contemporary romance. I feel like I haven't read a contemporary romance in a while. That might not be true, but people love that book. So yeah, Part of Your World for my choice. And then we have our random selection. So there's 8 books, taking off Vladimir, taking off Part of Your World. There are 6 books left. If I get the one that's the book 3, I am not going to read the ones leading up to it. I am just going to read that one, and we will see what happens. But hopefully I don't get that one because I don't think that's really fair to the book. Okay, we're going 1 through 6. And generate. We got number 6. What's the last one on this list? Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Okay. I'm not mad at it. I think it's a contemporary romance. I should look it up just to be sure. It looks like a contemporary romance. Yeah, it's like a summery contemporary romance. Could be fun. So a romance heavy TBR for this video. We'll see how it goes. There's none of these I'm like, I don't think I would like it. So that's good. I'm going to go in with an open mind. We'll see what happens. And you'll be updated imminently. Hello. I am midway through. I was about to say Part of Your World, but that is a lie. I am midway through Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and I can tell you what this is about. I think I'm actually 70%, which is, I feel like it's gone by really fast. I've been listening to this on audio. It's been my audiobook for the last couple days. This is about a woman whose name Persephone. Her name is Persephone, which is just, fun and quirky. She goes by Percy. Or she did when she was a kid. And basically she gets a call from someone from her childhood saying that let's go back to the childhood. So in her childhood, she had this summer home, basically. Her family had this summer home on a lake. I believe north of Toronto. She lived in Toronto, and then north, they would go up north for the summers and holidays to this lake place. And she met her neighbors at this lake place where these 2 brothers, and she had this strong relationship with them growing up. And then she gets a call in the present day when she's 30, from one of the brothers, the older brother, saying that the brother's mom has just passed away. And so she travels back to this small town for that funeral. And we are kind of split timelines between her childhood when she is meeting these boys, and then through the years, and then also the present day where she's reconnecting with them because she hasn't spoken to them in a really long time as of present day. And we're kind of figuring out why and what happened. And that's what it's about. It's definitely a very easy listen. It is a romance, and like romance on audiobook is always kind of risky. And I definitely have felt that like I don't like listening to smut. I don't feel like many people do. I mean, some people do, but it just is very uncomfortable to me. But the plot is moving swiftly along, and it's very just like contemporary romance, summer contemporary romance. It's nothing special to me so far. Like I don't foresee it being a 5-star, but it's not a bad book. And as hetero romances go, that's pretty high praise from me. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's an easy listen. And I will update you when I've finished or when I've started something else. I just finished, like literally 2 seconds ago, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and I was so mad because the third act conflict was like literally the worst possible thing that could have happened. I literally was like, anything can happen except this one thing, and if this one thing happens, I will be so mad. And guess what happened as the third act conflict? That one specific thing. And I didn't like it. But I'm torn because I did, like, most of the book was fine. Most of the book was okay. I just really did not like the ending. Not the ending, the, like, third act. Breakup, conflict, whatever it is. That always happens in a romance and is always kind of irritating and, like, no one really likes it, but we deal with it. This made me mad. And I can't tell you why or what it was, because that would be a spoiler. But I didn't like it. So I'm giving it 2.5 stars. Sorry, Kayla. But like, I just hate that specific, I don't know if I want to call it a trope or like what it is, but I hate it. And I am so mad that it happened in this book. Okay, that's all I have to say. I'm going to start the next one soon and I will update you. Hopefully it goes better for me than that one did.
Okay, so I am almost 50% of the way through Part of Your World, and I'm actually loving it. Like, I can't remember the last time I was this, like, invested in a romance book. Because in a romance, usually the intrigue is not high. Like, you kind of know what's going to happen. It's very predictable. And, like, this is too. I know what's going to happen. They're going to get together, this and this and this. But I kind of don't know how they're going to get there. Like, I'm interested, I'm invested, and I feel like the characters really have chemistry. And there's a lot of personal growth going on, especially on the side of our female main character, but I think also on the male main character's side as well. And I just am really into this. I think it's really good.
Hello, Kayla Vlog. It has been a minute, but I did finish Part of Your World. And I don't really remember what I said to you last time because I think I did a midway update, but I loved it. Like, I gave it 5 stars and I really was like very torn about that. Like whether to give it 5 stars, not because I didn't love it, but because I don't think I definitely have never given a hetero romance 5 stars. Like, I don't think I've ever even given one 4.5 or 4 stars. Like, I think the only romance I've ever given 5 stars was Delilah Green. And that's, that's different, right? This is fully, like, straight people, which is crazy for me to, like, actually love that book. But the writing was really good. The characters had really good chemistry. And there was also really strong, good stuff going on in the characters' lives outside of the romance. And the female main character's relationship with her parents really kind of hit me. Like, it was similar to my relationship with my parents in a way that, like, I felt things. I felt things about that. And I just think it was a really well-crafted, solid book. And I was like, I can't give a romance 5 stars. But you know what? I can do whatever the heck I want. And so, yes, I gave Part of Your World 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it. So, that's that one. That was my choice, was 5 stars, which is crazy. And Vladimir, this cover, like, makes me feel so silly, but it, like, actually fits the book in, like, kind of a tongue-in-cheek sort of way. I'm this far in, and I'm really enjoying this too. I like the way it's talking about academics and academia and also teaching. Like, I really appreciate the main character, our perspective character. I think it's, yeah. For a second, I was like, is it even first person? But it is, yeah. Our perspective character, she has so many flaws and she's such an interesting person, but she seems like such a genuinely good teacher and like to really genuinely care about her students. And I really appreciate that. I feel like there are certain things, like she just offhand things that just make me like really appreciate her, that part of her role that like it makes me appreciate her character in a really complex way. What is this about? This woman, she's in her 50s. Her husband, who's also a professor, has just been, like, it's come out that he had all of these affairs with students. Years ago, or like even, I don't know, somewhat recently, but it wasn't like expressly forbidden. They just are now saying like, oh, this was a power imbalance I was taking advantage of. These women have come forward. And our main character, knew about all of these affairs. They had an open marriage, and her perspective is kind of like, I couldn't do it justice. You have to just read it. But I'm finding this really interesting and an engaging story. So it's about that, their marital relationship, but also there's this younger professor, like 30s, married with a young daughter, named Vladimir, who our main character is like attracted to in this weird way. And so it's about their relationship too. And she's just met and talked to Vladimir's wife, and I think that relationship is going to come into play a lot more. And so it just is like, there's not like plot necessarily, it's just all of these character relationships, but I'm finding it really interesting, really nice prose, and easy to read, with a lot to think about. So I'm definitely enjoying this. Part of Your World was 5 stars. Every Summer After was like kind of a miss, but Kayla is actually crushing it. So I'll let you know when I finish this or if I have something more to say. Okay, I am here to wrap up this vlog, like, kind of a while later. Don't worry about it. I did finish Vladimir, and I have returned my copy to the library, so I'll have the cover on the screen. But I really liked this. It kind of went a little bit off the rails, but, like, in a good way, maybe? Like, I thought it was, like, I think I synopsized it for you in the last clip, and I told you I was finding it really intriguing, and, like, the writing style was really meaty and interesting, and I liked that, and that continued to be true. And the plot just, like, it went somewhere, you know? Like, I think I told you in the last clip that this book had no plot, but it got some plot, so that's cool. And I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. So that wraps up this video. Oh, I didn't calculate Kayla's average rating. Let me do that and get back to you. Okay, so Vladimir was 4 stars, and so that means we had Every Summer After, which was a 2.5 star, Part of Your World, which was a shocking 5 star, and Vladimir, which was a 4 star, which gives us an average of 3.83. I don't remember off the top of my head where that puts Kayla in the ranking, but I will put it on the screen, probably on this side right here. So you can see the full final ranking. This is the last video in this series. So this is the final ranking of all 7 friends I read books for. And I'm pretty sure Ruby is still at the top. That was the first one I did back in December of 2023. I started this project. And we're now in January. Potentially this is being uploaded in February of 2025, and I have finished this project, and this is the full ranking of my friends as determined by the books that they put on their 2023 favorites list. So I believe it's Ruby and Martine at the top, so good for them. And I still love the people at the bottom very, 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 very much. And this honestly is not a perfect representation of how our tastes align either, so this was just a fun experiment. I hope you enjoyed going along the ride with me as well. And I'll have the whole playlist of Friends Faves linked in the description, so if you missed any, you can watch them all. And I will see you in the next one, coming very soon. We hope. Bye!